So today we will be talking about getting ebooks through the Libby app. So first and foremost, I just want to say thank you to the Pleasant Hill Senior Center, Park and Rec, the Commission on Aging for having us here today to be able to go through this with you. And so hopefully everybody has good takeaways from this. And of course, if you have any questions, we will have a little bit of time for questions at the end, but feel free to raise your hand or to just kind of verbalize your question. We will go ahead and take it from there. Alrighty. So first, hello, this is me. My name is Elaine. I am a library assistant with the Contra Costa County Library System. I currently spend my time at two different libraries, so Pleasant Hill and at San Pablo. So just a quick little introduction. So today we will be talking about ebooks and Libby. So what you'll need for to get these ebooks, you'll need a Contra Costa County library card or an e-card. You will need access to the internet. You'll need a device for reading, so either a smartphone or a tablet. And then you will need the Libby app itself. Okay. And so kind of the first step would be to download the Libby app. So this is what it will look like on the different app stores. So if you have a Apple device, an iPad, an iPhone, you will go to the App Store and you will go ahead and download it from the App Store. And it is Libby by Overdrive is the name. If you own an Android device, which is pretty much everything that is not an Apple device, you will download it from the Google Play Store, and this is what the icon looks like there. Any questions so far? Dana, your mic, you are muted.
The dog was barking. Can I do the same with my Kindle?
So Kindle is slightly different. We will not cover Kindles today. We actually are having a session coming up that will cover specifically Kindles. So today we're talking about the Libby app. And so for Kindles, the road to get items onto the Kindle is slightly different. There are parts that are very similar, but slightly different.
Okay.
Of course, that doesn't quite answer your question.
No,
so,
for some reason, I thought today's would be about downloading the Kindle.
So that one is forthcoming. I believe that is happening on the 1st of April.
Oh, okay.
Here's a tip. I just downloaded the app 2 minutes ago, and it tells you in the app, there's a process within the app to get information on your Kindle. So follow the instructions in the app.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Okay, is that Libby?
Yes, that is correct. Libby is the name of the app. If we have time, we can touch upon kind of the second step that Kindles require in order to get them on the Kindle device. But today we're going to focus mainly on the Libby app.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions so far about kind of where you would download the app from? No. Okay. So just a very quick overview. So basic Libby functions, you will be able to search either by keyword, by author, by title, or subject. It will offer different formats. You can either read an ebook in the Libby app, or you can listen to an audiobook in the Libby app. And then you can have up to 6 requests at a time, and you can have 10 items checked out. So that is kind of the basics of Libby. Okay. Alrighty. So let's go ahead and walk through it together. So if you've downloaded the app, when you open it, this is what it should look like. It should give you a welcome sign. and give you kind of a really quick intro. And the first question it asks you is, do you have a library card? If you say yes, then we're going to hit yes here. And then it's going to ask you, how to look it up. So I find the easiest is just to search for the library. And so I'm going to click on that. And so it's asking you to search by name or branch location. So you can do either. You can put in Pleasant Hill, but my suggestion is just to put in Contra, Costa. And as you can see, as I type it in, it is trying to match what I'm typing. So it's already given me an option. So it says Contra Costa County Library. That is the one I want. So I'm going to click on that.
That's not what mine shows when I open it.
So what does it show when you open it, Sally?
It comes to shelf, loan, hold, tags, recent return.
Yeah, that's because you've either skipped the setup or you've already signed in with the library card. Have you signed in with the library card number before onto that device?
Yes.
Yes, so that's why. So I should clarify then, this is the very first thing you will see when you download Libby for the very first time onto your app. So this is setting up Libby on your app. I'm going to go back real quick.
Sorry.
That's okay. I'm going to go back real quick. So if you have more than one device, you see up here, it says, okay, if you have Libby on another device, you should simply copy your cards across. So there is that option if you have, for example, an iPhone and an iPad, and you would like to, sync those up, then you can just go ahead and copy it over. But if it is the very first time that you're ever opening up Libby and you're setting it up for the very first time, we're going to go ahead and start by looking for your library. So I'm going to hit on that.
Ask you a question about that again, so I understand. So I've downloaded Libby onto my phone. But if I want to be able to access a book on I got a new iPad, which I haven't set up yet, but when I do, so you're saying do I have to download the app on the iPad as well? And then when I'm going through this setup, I hit that one that says copy from other device. And what is it copying from the other device?
Let's see. So it's copy. So press and hold the so it is it's trying to help you go through the setup quicker so you don't have to search for your library. So it's asking you to do something on your first device, for example, your iPhone, to get a kind of setup code that it will show up here, that will show up on that device. And then you will put in that code onto your iPad, for example, and then it'll just sync that up. If that is way too complicated, that's not a problem. Just go ahead and set up the second device this exact same way, and it is it will be fine.
But when you say sync up, I just want to make sure that either way that I do it, if I start reading it on the phone and then I want to switch over to continue reading on my iPad, it's going to pick it up the same place.
That is correct. Yes,
okay.
that is a function of Libby, that it will go ahead and know that you are on page 20 on your iPad, and then when you pull it up onto your phone once more, it will start you on page 20.
Page 20, and it has so the way I set it up here on this page, it won't matter. I can do a copy from the other device. Okay,
right. The copy from my other device is they want it to make the process just easier for you. So if you find this process actually more difficult, just do the second option here to search for the library and put it in. So let's go ahead and click, I'll search for a library. We're going to go ahead, put in Contra Costa County Library. So I'm going to click on that. I've selected it and now it is thinking. So it says, let's add a library card for Contra Costa County Library. So we're going to go ahead and enter library account details. I'm going to click on that. It's asking me for my card number. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in. And then I'm going to hit next. And then I'm going to put in my the last name on the account. And then I'm going to hit sign in. And then there we go. So we have fully signed in. It tells me here's the card number. how many loans I have available. I currently don't have anything checked out. I have 6 slots that are available. I have holds. I don't have anything on holds, but I have 10 slots that are available. You can rename the card if you want to give the card a nickname. It's not required, so it would just cover the account number. You can say my card is what you can call it. Sure, my card. That is, of course, an extra step that is not required, but that's what rename card means. Any questions so far about that setup? Nope. Okay, let's go ahead. I'm going to hit next. And now, I don't want to save the password. And so now what you're looking at is the homepage for the Libby app. So this is the Contra Costa County Libraries page. I'm going to scroll down. Here is the Lucky Day collection. It explains what that is. I'm going to scroll down some more. Here is a little portion that says read with Kindle, and they can go ahead and tell you, give you more information about that. Today, we're going to focus solely on reading everything in the Libby app. If we have some time, we can go ahead and cover a little bit about the Kindle. I'm going to scroll down. So there are some kind of options that they're giving you for discovery. So you can, if you're not really sure what you want to read, or you just want to kind of browse and get a feel for what options are in the catalog, you can click on what's new in books, new in audiobooks, and etc. So there's a bunch of different options. I'm going to scroll down some more, and these are just more options for you. Yes, question.
Yeah, I'm not getting any of that. As I said before, when I open, it just opens in, oh, here it goes, search now. Oh, maybe it did. What's new, what's popular, what's available.
Right. So there are 2 kind of views. I'm going to scroll all the way back up. There are 2 views. If you look down here, there's a button that says library. So that's going to give you the library catalog. There's a button down here that says shelf. So if this is what you're seeing, is this?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is your what you currently have on loan, what you currently have on hold, anything you've tagged. So down here, these menu bars is going to give you, if you want to go back to the library catalog, you're going to click on the button that says library. That is,
I want to be doing the same thing you're doing.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and go to the left-hand side here that says library. So if I click on that, it's going to bring me back to the.
It won't do it.
Sure.
It won't do it.
Is it?
Maybe I'm there.
Yeah. Do you what do you see currently when you hit library?
The first is search, and then the next is preferences.
Yeah, so you're there. It might look slightly different, mostly because my screen is much larger than yours, possibly. And so, for example,
mine starts with brighten your winter.
Right. So if this might be more akin to what everyone else is seeing in terms of the size, because it's just smaller. I have the app up on the browser, so it just looks.
I had a problem with it, and the reason I had a problem was I downloaded the app a long time ago, and I didn't know where it was on my face page. So when I went to the app, and it just said open, and when I opened it, I got none of what you're showing. When I found it on my home page and opened it from the home page, it came up the way it looks on the computer now. So there's 2 different versions you could be looking at. If you're actually opening it from where you load the app, it might look different than if you actually go into the app that's already loaded on your homepage.
Or I think your phone might look different than a laptop, because Sally, I looked up my phone, and my phone, it says the same thing yours does. It says brighten your winter. So that just may be
great.
How it looks on the phone versus the laptop.
Good, thank you.
Yeah, so so there's the lucky day on top. If I scroll down, I do see the brighten your winter here. So that's is that what some of you are seeing?
Yeah, but different.
Different books. Maybe they know our age and so they're giving us different options.
Yeah, I mean, these kind of will renew itself, rotate itself through. So like if you come back to the page, you're not looking at the same books over and over again. So it's trying to give you some options. So that is possibly why we are not seeing, while we're seeing a similar title, we're not seeing these guys in the middle. Make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, but we all feel good about this side is this corner is where you'll hit library and this corner is where you'll hit shelf.
Yeah, and that's been a big help for me. That was a big learning because all I ever saw was the shelf and I found it really hard to work with. So thank you for pointing out that library.
Yeah, the library button on the side. I'm gonna make my screen a little bit smaller, just so maybe that, just to get a better ratio for everybody. So right on top, so here is the home screen, and as we mentioned, you can go ahead and click some of these guys in the middle, but mostly what many of us do when we get here is that we'll hit the search button. So the very top left hand corner, you're going to see the search button here. Sometimes if the screen is on the tinier end, you won't see the actual word search. You'll just see the magnifying glass, and that's fine. It's, that's the shortcut for search that they're putting there. So I'm going to go ahead, and why don't we go ahead and try to search for a book together, and we're going to go ahead and try to download a book together. So let's go ahead and search for something. Anybody have any books that they are really hoping that are in the ebook catalog today?
Do you
Any-
have Becoming by Michelle Obama?
Sure, we can go ahead and take a look at that. So we can go ahead and search that in different ways. So you can search by title, you can search by author. So many times they will also try to help you out and give you some suggestions as what they think you're looking for. So if I'm going to start with the title. So become, and so as you can see, as I've started typing, they're trying to predict what I'm looking for. So you see the first one actually is becoming, and they're letting you know on the this right hand side that it's a title. So for example, here, Becky is an author. So I'm going to go ahead, instead of finishing this out, I'm just going to go ahead and use their suggestions. I'm going to hit becoming. And so right at top, you see it says everything matching becoming has been pulled up. And so they're telling me that all these books and all these audiobooks that match becoming. So they're matching title, they're matching subject and things like that. So I'm going to scroll down. As you can see, Becoming by Michelle Obama, those right on top, those are the two options that are most popular. So they're go ahead and giving that to you. So you can see that this one looks slightly different from this one. They both say Becoming, they both say Michelle Obama, but they do say this one says audio on it, which means it is an e-audio book. This one does not have any special tag on it, and so the default then is an ebook. As you can see, the options, these little options that they have right now on the side say place hold, play sample, and tag. So place hold, that means that there currently are not any available copies and you can add yourself to the queue. So if I just, from this screen, if I just hit place hold, it's going to give me this little title card. It's telling me, verifying what I'm doing, giving me little instructions on the bottom. If you place a hold on this title, it should be ready for you to borrow in about 2 weeks. And it's giving you more details about how many copies are there and how many people are waiting for it. So I'm going to go ahead and if we would like to do that, I'm going to hit place hold. And then now you are left with this. It says play sample, suspend, keep browsing, and go to shelf. Or you can just hit the back button to go to the previous screen. So I'm going to do that real quick. I'm going to go back to the previous screen. And then, so we're back here. And now that you see it's changed, so if you forget that you've placed it on hold, it gives you a nice little reminder that says, guess what? It's on your hold shelf.
Elaine, I may be
yes.
jumping ahead, but I have a question. So
Yes.
I have used Libby in the last 2 weeks,
Mhm.
actually 3 weeks actually, to get books, and I only read audiobooks.
Mhm.
And I put them on hold, but the problem is I wasn't being notified when they came in, and I lost one. I got notified that it left the hold, but I didn't get notified that it had come in. You know, you do this, you get busy with your life, you forget.
Right.
So is there
Right.
something you're supposed to do in the setup to make sure you get told when a book is ready?
Right. So you should make sure, my understanding is that the default notifications for the app are that it will give you a notification on your device as you normally do, like a banner that maybe that comes up from the top of your device. But we can double check. I can show you where the settings are so that you can double check that those notifications are set up the way that you need them to. Okay. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So
I just don't want to lose some more books.
yes, no, of course.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know it was out there waiting for me.
So from this screen as well, instead of directly hitting the placehold button, you can also hit either the title or the image. And then what will happen is that more detailed description of the item will come up. So here you can see it actually gives me the wait time here, gives me a description of the item, and then there's more description of the item, et cetera, et cetera. Some other suggestions. I'm gonna
When they
scroll back up.
notify you, does it come on the Libby app or does it come on your home screen? Where does it come when they
Right.
notify you?
It's gonna come, it should come on your Libby app, and it should come on your device. So however you get notifications on your device. Little pop-ups on your device is what you should see. You may also see a little number indicator next to the icon on your device home screen, and that will also mean that it is a notification. I'm gonna any questions so far about placing holds?
Just a suggestion for whomever did not get the notification. If you have notifications turned off on your phone or your iPad, whatever you're using, you won't get a notification. So you have to go in settings and make sure that notifications are not turned off for Libby.
Oh, all right, that makes sense.
So I'm going to click on this bottom corner. I'm going to click on shelf real quick. And then if I click on holds right in the middle here, as you can see, here is a list of the holds that I just placed. So notifications in the app, I am going to click on this icon in the corner, upper right hand corner. If I click on that, you get some more settings. So right here it says you're at Contra Costa County Library with one card, and there is a manage notifications button. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. See what it says.
Can you say again how you got to that one? I'm
Sure.
sorry, I was looking at my settings, so I lost where you got that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So from it doesn't have to be from the shelf screen. It can be from the library screen. So what you're looking for, I'm going to go back to the shelf screen just because it's easier to see. So what you're looking for is in the upper right hand corner, this little Libby icon is what you're looking for. So this is the little girl's head is what that is an icon of. So you're looking for this Libby icon in the upper right hand corner. I'm going to click on that, and then you're going to get this screen. You'll see a listing of other things. So right here, there is manage notifications. I'm going to click on that. And then so it says choose which type of events you would like to be notified about. So this first button is ignore. This middle one is menu badge. And this third one says email and notice. So you're going to go ahead and choose the ones that make sense for you. So for example, hold ready. I'm going to go ahead and change that to the third option, which is email notice. We click on that.
Yeah, what do they mean by menu badge? That would mean if you're in the app, there would be a badge.
Yeah, so I'm going to
But
scroll down.
if you're not in the app, then you won't see anything.
Well, so I'm going to scroll down. There's actually a little description on the bottom. So it says
Okay.
menu badges appear as a colored circle on the menu icon. So there's a little show right there. You'll only see them when you open the app. So yes, that is correct.
Yeah, and that's my problem. I don't go into the app all that often. So I
Right.
think that email option is going to be the better one.
So it says, and that says you need to specify an email address before email notices can be sent to you. So you see that I clicked on that, but they're just kind of reminding you, since I'm not sure what email is currently on here. So I'm going to hit fix this. And it says we can send you notifications of important events to your email address. So you're going to go ahead and enter in the email here. So email@email.com. That's what I'm going to put. So that is where you're going to go ahead and make sure that Libby has your email. So that I'm hitting next, so that when your hold is ready, they will email you.
So Elaine, mine says something different. So, and I don't know if that's part of it. So where you've got at the top where it says email notice menu badge,
Right.
mine does not say email notice. Mine just says notification.
Okay, I'm going to check.
It does say menu badge and ignore, but it doesn't
Right.
say
It
email
doesn't
notice.
say email notice for the third one.
But that's what I've got clicked all the way down is that notification, but maybe it's not notifying me by email.
Let me go ahead and take a look.
And
Yeah.
I'm sorry, again, I was looking at my phone. So was it down at the bottom in the devices? You're supposed to make sure they have your email address?
Yeah, so I'm looking on my device as well, and I as well do not have this third one. They're telling me is not email notice, but a notification.
Okay.
And so they're telling me notifications will appear per your device settings, no matter which app is open. So for me, this description here says there's a little link to, instead of says change this, it says device settings. So what they're referring to for a notification is something that, comes up from like a banner or something like that, that comes at the top of your, at the top of your, oh, you can't say that, at the top of your device to notify you that way. And you want to go ahead and click on device settings and make sure that the settings for your device allow your Libby notifications to come through. Does that make sense?
Yes, so
Yes.
you're so far advanced on your phone usage than I am, but yes, I'm trying to follow along.
Yeah, no, so as this, the very bottom, so for people who are following along on their current devices, is there on the bottom here, is there a little description that says what notifications are for you?
No,
Yes.
So some of us,
Yes.
not on a phone.
so yeah, my other device is an Android phone. So anybody with an device can verify that is also,
It's on there.
it's on there. Okay,
But
so
it's not on mine. So on my iPhone at the bottom, in this same spot, it says notifications will appear
yes,
per your device settings, no matter which app is open.
yes. So it looks like that is the message I am also receiving on my Android phone. So I am not receiving, I do not have this email notices option. I have the device notifications options. So you want to make sure that you click on device settings just to make sure that those notifications come through, because that is what has been offered on the app.
And I'm so sorry to bother you. So I followed this path on my iPhone to the notifications for the Libby app. And the only thing I can see that maybe is an issue is it says, do I want the notifications to be permanent or temporary? And mine's on temporary. So I'm thinking that might mean maybe it pops up, but if I hit my phone and don't see it, it goes away.
That is possible. I am not extremely familiar with iPhone notifications. So if it is on temporary right now and you're not seeing them, I would switch them to permanent and see if that, you know, if that makes it.
Yeah, if I see
available for
them
you.
then, yeah.
Mhm. Okay. Any questions about this process of the notifications?
Again, that was very helpful. Thank you. I'm learning so much today.
I'm glad. Yeah, so you can, as you can see, email notice is not what is on most of ours. We have ignore, we have menu badge, and we have notification. So here you can decide how often you want to be notified about any particular setting or status of your request. So I'm going to go ahead and hit hide. That's going to go away. And then I'm going to go ahead and go back to, let's go back to, I'm going to click library. And going back to the library, it will go back not to the home page, but to the last page you were on in the catalog. So to get back to the home page, I'm just going to hit the back button here. And then scroll all the way up and hit back again to the library. And we're back to the home page. So there's that. And so let's go ahead and find a book to actually read. So this is the Lucky Day e-collection. I'm gonna scroll down so we can read the description. The library's Lucky Day collection includes many of the popular new and best-selling titles. What makes this, thanks. I can't see the entire thing. So what I did is, it looks like the entire description is not available. So what I did is I clicked the title here of the Lucky Day e-collection. I clicked on that and then it expanded that. It gives me the entire description and the other titles. So what makes this collection unique is that these items may not be requested or put on hold. Lucky Day items have a 2-week loan period to help keep the supply of titles available for library patrons to check out and enjoy. This collection has a few special borrowing conditions. So they can't be renewed. They are first come, first serve, and we can check out a maximum of 1 Lucky Day item from Overdrive at a time. So Overdrive is the name of the company that makes Libby. So that's who that is. So I'm going to scroll down. So here we have some options, and I'm going to go ahead and you can hit borrow right here, or you can hit the title and hit borrow from that screen. So since last time we hit borrow from here, let's go ahead and see what it looks like when we hit it from the more detailed screen. So you can either click on the title or the image. So I'm going to click on the title. And here we go. More of a description. And here, right here, it says borrow. So I'm going to go ahead and hit borrow. It is verifying that for us. So it says, I will say, yes, borrow. And so now you have some options directly from here. You can directly open the book. You can keep browsing, or you can go to the shelf. So we're going to go ahead and directly open the book here. So I'm going to hit open book. And here it's asking us how I would like to read it. So I would like to read it directly in the device. If you are on a Kindle, then you can send it to the Kindle. That is a second step process. But today we are going to go ahead and hit Libby, this app. So it's verifying that, yes, I want to read it in this app. So I'm going to click on Libby. Now it is downloading. It's thinking. There we go. So now it has come up. So here is what I see. And so because my screen is actually on the larger side, it gives me a second option of 2 columns. That's not an option on everybody's probably. I do not have that on my phone. Some options when reading. To get to the next page, you're going to go ahead and tap or swipe on the right-hand side. I'm going to tap on that, and it's going to go to next page, Next page. Here is, I'm gonna scroll through just to get into, here is the first chapter. So one of the options that you have right on top here, if you don't see these options on the top, if you just single tap in the middle of your device, so you just kind of give it a nice little tap right in the middle, those menus should pop up. So I'm gonna tap on this A right here, and this A gives me the option to make the text bigger. As you can see in the back, it has gotten bigger. I can make the text smaller. So however you need the sizing for those. Scrolling down a little bit more, there's options for lighting. So you can have a light background, a sepia background, and a dark background. However you prefer to read those. I'm gonna scroll down some more, and there are font options. I usually just use the publisher's default. I don't have any real preference either way, but if you would like, you can change, you can see it changes the font in the background. So if you have a particular font that is you find much more legible, much more easier to read, then I would go ahead and pick one of those. Okay, I'm gonna get out of this. I'm just gonna tap outside of this menu and get out of that. Here is another search option, except this search option is to search within the book. So you're not searching the catalog, you're searching the book. So if you maybe have, I'm gonna click on that. So it says right there, search within book. So maybe you read something and forgot to make note of it, or remember an interesting quote or somebody's name, etc. You can go ahead and put that within the search bar, and it will go ahead and come up. So for example, if I search for broth, let's see what comes up. B-R-O-T-H, broth. So here is the options that it's showing up. It's showing up the individual word. It's also showing up brother, which contains the word broth. And so depending on your needs, that may or may not be helpful. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of that. There's also this bookmark function. So I'm going to click
Can
on
I ask you a
that.
question about that
Yes.
search? So in that case where you typed in broth and it came up with brother, is there a way to limit it to just broth if you don't want to bring it up everything that has broth in it?
I don't know if I'm gonna try. I just put it in quotes. Let's see what happens. Yeah. So if you just want, if you don't want it to search the kind of contents like that, then you just want to make sure to put everything in quotes so that the search function knows that I only want this word and nothing, no extra stuff afterwards. Make sense?
Yeah, and that's very helpful because sometimes you get way more than you want.
Yeah, so this is common as well with other search functions. So if you're on Google, for example, if you only want that phrase, and if you know for a fact that that phrase or that word is the correct one, you can go ahead and put it in quotes.
Yeah, you're really finding out how limited I am in my.
No, not at all. So the bookmark function, I'm going to click on that. It's letting you know to place a bookmark, tap the top right corner of the page to create a highlight, tap and hold a word, and then swipe left or right. Is letting you how you're doing it. The way this is viewed, you can see that there's this little tab down here. I'm gonna click on that, and that's going to give me a bookmark. In other devices, you may not see a little kind of the little tail of what is what looks like a ribbon bookmark. So you may not see that, but the instructions, for example, tell you to, oh, I'm going to hide that real quick. The instructions tell you to tap the top right corner of the page. So many of us will tap right up here, and then you will go ahead and make that bookmark. And once you've made that bookmark, if you click on it again, it will tell you you made a bookmark on page 16. And if you need to go back to it, then you can. I'm going to go ahead and hide that real quick.
And can you bookmark an audio book?
Yes, yes, you can definitely do that as well. I'm going to go ahead and go back. We can go ahead and touch on that as well. Any questions so far about audiobook options within audiobooks? No. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and one more thing to point out. I'm going to give the center screen a little tap, and then we have this bottom menu that pops up. For most of us on our devices, when we do the tap, both the top and the bottom will come up. So many times, if you're seeing that difference, that's fine. That's how it currently works, because on our small phone screens, it wants to give you as much reading real estate as possible. So I'm going to go ahead and tap on the middle, get this bottom one that comes up. Here is the table of contents. So if you would like to search through the table of contents, much more often with maybe a nonfiction book where you're looking for a particular chapter, I'm going to click on chapters, and it's going to give us, so it says tap the heading to reach the top. Okay, I'm going to close that little tidbit. And then, for example, if I want to go directly to page chapter 7, I can click on that and it will go ahead and get me to chapter 7. Down here, you have this little scrolling icon to tell you where you are. You're on page 70, 71 and 72 of 1400. So that is how you would use that. And also you can be careful here. It's very easy to accidentally move things around with your finger as you're doing that. So that's just one thing to be aware of. So it is a kind of sliding scale. So just be careful of that. You can hit these options as well to go forward to the next chapter. So if I click on here, it says it's going to skip ahead 29 pages and it's going to get me to chapter 9. If I go back 27 pages, it's going to get me back to the next stop, which was chapter 8.
Thank you.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Bless you. Many blessings. Any questions about the options so far?
I have a question about pages.
Yes.
So let's say you're reading this on an iPad and then you switch to a phone. The paging, if you do that in a Kindle, okay, whether you're on the Kindle or reading it on the Kindle app on a phone, the paging is different because you can see more on a bigger device than you can on a phone. So are the numbers of the pages the exact same in this app, regardless of what you're reading it on?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. So the page numbers refer to the actual pages on, for example, like a hardcover book.
Right.
It will know, it says, this page. And so even though I've made this text bigger or smaller, it will pick up exactly kind of that location as well. Okay.
Thank you.
So I do want to touch real quickly on kind of some audiobook options, and I do want to show you how to return an item. So before we run out of time, so we do have 10 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to go back. And so I'm back to my shelf. If I go back, hit back one more time, you can see it's giving me a shortcut to what I'm reading now. But you can also see all those in your loans, for example. I'm going to go back to the shelf.
Back.
Yep. So when you hit, for example, if I hit loans, right in the top left-hand corner, there's a little caret that goes to the left. So that's your back button right there. So it's saying we're going to go back to the shelf is where it's pointing to. So I'm going to go back to the shelf. Let's go. I'm going to go back to the library. And so this is the last page we were on in the library, which is why this is what shows up. So I'm going to go back to the Lucky Day e-collection. And I'm going to go ahead and pick out an audiobook. And I'm going to scroll down. Here's this one called The Office by Andy Green. So I'm going to go ahead and hit borrow from this screen just to expedite things. And then it's telling me, because this is a skip the line copy. So remember, we are in the Lucky Day e-collection. Normally things will check out for 3 weeks, but this is a special, making sure everybody has the option to read it. I'm going to hit borrow. It is thinking about it. And then now I'm going to hit, I'm not going to hit open audiobook because I do want to show you how to do that from your, from another screen. So if you decided I don't want to open this right now, I'm just going to go back to either keep browsing or go to the shelf. If I hit keep browsing, it's going to bring me back to this screen. If I hit go to shelf, it will probably bring me back to this screen. So now I've decided I actually do want to listen to it now. So I'm going to go ahead, and many times they will kind of give you some shortcuts and have it on this screen here, the very first one. However, if you don't see it, don't worry, don't freak out. It is probably in your loans. So I'm going to go here under loans. As you can see, here it is, and it says open in Libby, and that's what I want to do. So I'm going to hit open in Libby. And now it is thinking about it. There we go. So here it is, and then here's a button to play the item, just start playing it. And then here is 15, means you're going to move 15 seconds forward, 15 back this way. Counterclockwise means you're going to go back 15 seconds. Here, similarly to the book, here is a slider as to where you want to be. So this is, you can see 4 minutes right here. There's little marks here. If I hit on chapters, I'm going to click on that. It's going to give me, similarly to the book, the different chapters in the book. So it's giving, here is the times. So these are timestamps is what you're seeing on this side. So chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, etc. I'm going to hide that. Similarly to the book version. So it says go forward 19 minutes. That's going to get me to the next chapter. Go back 3 minutes because I'm not at the beginning of a chapter. I'm in the middle of this chapter. If I go back 3 minutes, it's going to bring me to the beginning of that chapter. Now, if I hit it one more time, it's going to give me the previous one. Okay. So those, I find that I rarely use these, but I did want to point them out. So the ones that I use most often with an audiobook is this one right up top here. So this one is called the playback function. So you can go ahead and change how quickly or how slowly you would like the author or the narrator to read it. Okay, I'm gonna hide that real quick. And then any questions about this? No, okay. Real quick, I'm going to go back as well one more time. So let's say I am done with the book. So I am ready to return the item and to free up my queue. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hit manage loan, and then I'm going to hit return early. Is what I'm going to do. And it's even letting me know that one person is waiting. Very good. So I actually don't need it anymore. I'm going to hit return early, and then it's making sure, verifying with you that is exactly what you want to do, and you're going to hit return. It's going to think about it, and it says you have returned the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. And so you can go ahead and hit these options. I'm going to hit go to shelf. It's going to bring me back to my loans here. Okay, so I do have some handouts that will go over this as well. So but I did want to kind of verbally walk you through.
That's hard copy?
Yes, so there will be copies that for you. It's an electronic copy. I currently do not have any physical copies. We may talk with the senior center to see if we can have some physical copies made, but we currently have a link to some other directions as well. So
right, so you're going to give them a link. Yeah. And they can click on and download it and print it on their personal computer. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Okay. So we do have a link to a set of handouts. They're gonna.
How will that come?
You can't see that.
Will that come to your email, or how will that come?
So I will give you the link, and if you guys want to write it down, then we can go ahead and do that. So I'm going to flip over real quick and we can take some more questions. We are coming to the end of our time, but we can flip over real quick. Make this bigger. I'm going to scroll to my screen. So this is the link for the supplemental handout. So if you guys want to notate that down, and it will walk you through everything that we did today. So talking about setting up Libby on your device, about how to borrow an item, how to open an item, what kind of options are available to you when you read it, and then options available to you when you are listening to an audiobook. Also, our contact information and is on there as well. So if you have any questions, feel free to give us a call.
I have a question.
Yes.
Okay, I have an iPhone. I listened to this whole thing. So when are you going to actually have the class for the iPhone?
So for the iPhone, you will go ahead and what we've talked about today applies. And so you want to make sure, I'm going to scroll up. You want to make sure that you want to download this Libby app onto your iPhone from the App Store.
Okay.
And then that way you would be able to all the steps that we went through today about setting it up, about searching, and about downloading it will apply to the iPhone.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome. So did everybody get a chance to copy down the link?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, very good. Real quick, let me see if I can click on it. I'm just going to copy and paste it. So this is what the link will look like when you go into it. It's loading. There we go. So here is the Libby quick guide. It is giving you instructions on how to do all the things that we did today. So this is page 2. So it is walking you through exactly how you would need to set it up. Scrolling down, it'll walk you through how to borrow an item, how to search for it, et cetera, et cetera. So everything that we talked about today. So if something didn't make sense or it was not clear, feel free to look at the supplemental handout to see if that answers your question. If it does not answer your question, feel free to give us a call at the library and we can go ahead.
That number is?
Yes, our number is 925-646-6434.
In that handout, does it also have instructions about putting it on your Kindle?
It does not, because it is Libby specific. So when we do the Kindle workshop, which is on the 1st of April, there will be a handout for the Kindle. So that is Kindle specific.
Okay.
I normally do not get the newsletter till after the 1st. Well, where will I find the meeting ID number?
Usually Holly usually sends out do you get the weekly emails that Holly sends out? Because she usually highlights those in the weekly ones before the newsletter comes out.
Okay, I've never gotten the email, but I'll look it up.
I'll tell you what, if you find that you're not getting any of the weekly emails from Holly, call me at the office. Next week I'll be in on Tuesday and I can see whether we don't have your email on account or if you got unsubscribed somehow.
Okay, thank you very much. And your name is?
I'm Karen.
Karen, thank you, Karen.
Yes.
And I want to thank you because now I think I'm going to download this on my iPad because I'm so Kindle centric. And I thought, oh, I have an iPad kind of just sitting there. So I'm gonna try Libby on that.
Yeah.
So thank you for that.
Of course, you're welcome. And of course, once after the Kindle workshop as well, then you can kind of decide which venue works the best for you. And
Yes.
so at least you have all the information. Of course, yes. So we have come to the end of our time. If there's any other kind of quick questions that we can answer before we let everybody go. Yes, Sharon.
I think I'm on where the Lucky Day collection was. It had a question do you prefer to read with Kindle? And it has an option to say, yes, I read with Kindle. Will that activate something now, or am I jumping ahead and I need to wait till April 1st?
Well, no, you can definitely do that. What that option, so we've gone back to Libby here. So what that option means, it just means that when so I'm gonna scroll, let's try something real quick.
I do have the Kindle app on my iPhone also.
Yeah, so that's a preference that you can set. So if you're telling the Libby app that you prefer to read with the Kindle, that way when you hit borrow and hit open, it will no longer ask you, do you want to read with the Kindle or do you want to read with Libby? Because it knows that you've told it, I prefer the Kindle. Yeah.
Oh, but right now, without doing it, I could read it on the Libby app.
That is correct. So without setting that preference, it will ask you every single time. And if you've set the preference and you've decided, I no longer want that preference, you can also change that. And that is...
So if I put, I want to read it on my Kindle and then I sync my Kindle and my phone, will it take it to my Kindle?
It will send it to the Kindle. So if you click on read with Kindle, there will be extra instructions that it will walk you through.
Okay. So if I play with this, I won't mess it up.
No, you won't mess it up. No. Yeah.
Okay,
And if
thank you.
Of course, if you feel like you've messed it up, I can tell you with 99.9% assurity that you have not messed it up. You just, just go ahead and give us a call. We can try to walk you through it.
Elaine, do you have time for another quick question?
So I do. I just don't know if everyone else does. So I guess, but I can go ahead and take another question. Yes.
I'm sorry, I misunderstood when you asked. On the audiobook thing at the top where it's the sleep timer, what is the sleep timer?
The sleep timer. So some people like to listen to audiobooks as they sleep, but they don't want to accidentally fall asleep and then wake up and realize the book has finished. So you will set, for it to turn off automatically after a set amount of time.
Okay, great. And the last question is, my neighbor told me that the library has an app called Canopy where you can watch movies. Will you guys be sharing information about that at any point in the future?
We can, yes. So yes, we do have an app called Canopy where you can use your library card to watch a whole bunch of movies. But our other digital resources is definitely something that we do want to share more in depth with everybody kind of down the line. So we're kind of slowly going through and finding the most the ones that people
so I just want to put it in there. So Karen, I don't know if you're putting together things, but maybe sometime we can learn about the Canopy app.
Yes, in fact, when Holly comes back next week, we will touch bases and I will let her know everything that happened today. And so we can do some follow-up on those.
All right. Well, thank you so much to everybody for joining us today. And let me pull up that image again, just so that you can see if you didn't.
Thank you very much.
Yes,
Thank you very much.
Thank
you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us. And I know that if you've missed this run through, this event has been recorded and it will be broadcasted on the city channel. I don't know exactly when. I think that the schedule is forthcoming. So if you would like to watch it again, us walk through it again with you, it will be on there. So just wanted to highlight that.
And Elaine, you're very patient and a very good presenter. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
I tried.
Thank you, Elaine.
Thank you so much,
Elaine.
everybody.
Thank you.
Great. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.